And the thing is, you may have noticed I don't have my glasses on today. What I'm about doing, I was going to have some fun with you, is I was going to paint eyes on my glasses and just put those on and see if anybody noticed. But they're at the shop, so I have my contacts in, so this might last like 10 seconds. We'll have to see what happens.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Who's Joe YouTube Edition.
Who's Joe?
Who's Joe?
Who's Joe?
Who's Joe?
Yeah. Who is Joe?
Today we are here with Jayson Warner Smith, who I'm sure all of you recognize as having been Gavin on The Walking Dead. This is our third staring contest video. I am 2-0 currently, but let's go ahead and have Jayson tell us a little about himself.
My name's Jayson Warner Smith. Most of you probably know me from The Walking Dead. I played Gavin. I was one of the saviors. I was also on a television show for a while called Rectify, which you can watch on Sundance TV now. Excuse me, you can watch on Netflix. It was on Sundance TV originally. I'm in the first couple of seasons of that. Play a guy named Wendell, and I've been in several films. As a matter of fact, I've got a movie coming out right now. I'm not the star of it, but I have a major supporting role in it called The Devil to Pay. And we can talk about that more in a bit, but that's me. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and Athens, Georgia from time to time. I kind of work my way back and forth between the two, and I teach acting in Atlanta, and I'm a Libra. So there you go. You just missed my birthday.
I guess I just did.
Yes.
And this is kind of perfect timing because the week I'll be publishing this is also the week of the season finale of The Walking Dead.
Ah, yes. The season finale of the ultimate season.
Indeed.
I think that's the way. Isn't that the fancy word for second to almost the last?
I guess so.
I think it is.
So,
hey, Joe.
You ready to start the staring contest portion?
Yeah, let me get ready, man. I gotta stretch out. Let me get ready. And the thing is, you may have noticed I don't have my glasses on today. What I'm about doing, I was going to have some fun with you, is I was going to paint eyes on my glasses and just put those on and see if anybody noticed. But they're at the shop, so I have my contacts in, so this might last like 10 seconds. We'll have to see what happens.
I'm pretty sure 10 seconds was about how long the last one lasted before I won. So
let's see what happens here. Let's see. Let me get ready. You tell me you're going to count us down, and then we start.
Okay, let's do a countdown. 5.
All right, I'm ready.
4, 3, 2, 1, start. Alrighty. Now, everybody knows one of the big popular things in Hollywood right now is reboots.
Yes.
So if you could be in a reboot of any intellectual property that's ever been done, what would it be?
I think the trick is to keep moving your eyes around and not. Puss in Boots. Ha ha ha. Reboot. Just blink. I don't know. Did I?
I'm not sure.
I would like to be in the reboot. Boy, I wasn't expecting that question. I wasn't prepared. Let's Star Wars.
Okay.
That era. So that would be the one. I don't think I blinked. Did I unconsciously? Did anybody notice?
I'm not sure.
I'm just moving my eyes around so they stay wet. That seems trick. Unless your Joe doesn't ever blink. Do you sleep like that, Joe?
I do not sleep like this.
I wouldn't be surprised if you did. He's a Galapagos. He's part Galapagos lizard who has a mustache. He can reach his tongue up really quick and lick his eyes, and you don't even notice it. That's his secret.
You caught on to me.
All right, we're still going here. What's the next question, Joe? Let's party.
The next question. So I saw you in the play Blackbird, which obviously
Ah,
you did an amazing job in. So did Heather Rule.
yes, that'll make you blink.
Your character Ray. How do you think Ray would have handled the world of The Walking Dead?
Oh, he'd have been dead in a minute. He's a sad, sad man who's all screwed up in the head. And oh, I blinked. There it
You,
was. There it was. I
there it
blinked.
is. There it is.
How long did we? That was a couple of minutes.
Yeah, you did a good job. You lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Boom. Beat that, somebody. I mean, you can't beat Joe. He's not going to blink for the next hour, but that's another story. You don't. He's something about the water in Jacksonville, Alabama, that makes your eyes stay open. I don't know what it is.
So one thing oh, go ahead.
But no, Ray. Yeah, Ray would be Ray. He's so screwed up in the head. He's not a heroic character. Not courageous. He's even handy. He's just a guy. So yeah, he wouldn't last. So long answer to a simple question.
One thing I try to do, and we'll see if I can do it this time,
Yeah.
is I try, even after I win the contest, I try to go the rest of the interview without blinking too.
You're a weird, man.
That's not the first time I've been told that. It probably won't be the last.
All right. Well,
Now,
I'll keep looking at those eyeballs of yours.
one thing I've noticed is that with you and other actors that were on Walking Dead, that there's this kind of commonality of having been on Vampire Diaries. Is that just like a freak coincidence, or?
Well, I mean, here's the thing: it's that they're both shot in Georgia, so
Right.
that has a lot to do with it. But there's a lot of, and the thing, it's the funny thing about Georgia is everybody keeps calling it, Y'allywood or Hollywood South and all that sort of thing. Is yes, a lot of production happens in the state of Georgia, and the reason that is because they have a very lucrative tax rebate or tax program. In other words, if a production comes to Georgia, and here's how it works. I'm sorry, I'm going to give you some wonky BS here, but basically, if a production comes to Atlanta and shoots $100 million picture like Ant-Man or something like that, that production is given $30 million worth of Georgia state tax credits toward any
Right.
taxes that production would owe in the state of Georgia. But here's the kicker. If they don't use all $30 million worth of them, they can sell those tax credits to other businesses in Georgia that have nothing to do with the film industry.
Oh, wow.
Like a peanut farm or a guy that has a tugboat down in Savannah. Anybody who has state taxes, and they can buy them at pennies on the dollar. So it's a discounted rate for taxes. And that's the gig.
Gotcha.
And so anyway, Vampire Diaries, Walking Dead. A lot of the same actors have worked on both because we live here and we're the local actors. Some of us are from here, like myself, some of the older actors. And then there's a lot of younger actors who have moved here and also are from here. But a lot of people have moved here and made this their home now because of the amount of work.
So, out of all the characters you've played, excluding Gavin, obviously, because he was on The Walking Dead, which of them do you think would handle a zombie apocalypse world the best?
Oh, Wendell from the Walking Dead, from Rectify, because he's a psychopathic murderer. So he'd probably be a savior in about 2 minutes.
that would be perfect for Walking Dead, especially for saviors.
Yeah, I mean, he has no qualms against killing, murdering, and the more recognition and power. I mean, he'd make a good whisperer for sure. But he would be good. And then the part I played in the Vampire Diaries was a very small role. I think his character's name was Dean. He owns a garage in Georgia. There was a part where Vampire Diaries, left their Massachusetts or wherever the hell they were supposed to be, their New England town. One of them came down to hide in Georgia, and so I played a Georgia boy. So I was Southern again, and so he was, he had tools and skills, and he's a country boy. He probably would have done pretty good too.
One thing I remember from talking to you in the past and having heard you speak before is that you prefer theater
Yeah.
to film. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I mean, from an artist perspective and from a performance perspective, there's, in my opinion, there's just no comparison. Maybe someday if I were to be the lead character in a large film with a big budget or a TV show where I was a series regular, I might have a different opinion about that. But based upon what I've done so far, where I'm, kind of a journeyman or what we call a day player or a guest star, a recurring guest star, or if I'm a lead in a film, it's usually a very small project with no budget. It's a lot of waiting around and doing nothing, and then then doing nothing again for long periods of time. Whereas with theater, we rehearse 8 hours a day, and you're with other actors, and you're collaborating, and you're coming up with ideas, and you're trying things, and you're rehearsing, and it's day after day after day. So the rehearsal process is lovely. And when you start performing, when in normal times, there's an audience, and they react right there on the spot, and you can feel the energy coming off of that audience. You don't get that from a film crew.
So, question: if you could be lead in like a critically acclaimed play versus star in like a blockbuster hit movie or show like the next Star Wars or the next whatever, which would you pick?
That's not a fair question, Joe, but I get where you're coming from. If I could play Atticus Finch in a regional theater production of To Kill a Mockingbird, the new version that they've been doing that Jeff Daniels was on Broadway with for a year, if I could play that role, I would definitely want to do that more than anything.
Right.
But if they also said, hey, Jason, instead of doing that, we're going to make you, a minor in, some big blockbuster movie, but we're going to need you on set every day for the next 12 weeks. Then I would do that.
Right. Okay.
Because, that would be, I would hate to have to make that choice. That's like Sophie's Choice right there. I mean, that's a tough one. And because because 12 weeks on a big blockbuster movie that's going to make a ton of money, we get paid for the time that we're there working, but then we also get what's called residuals, which are like royalties for years. And the more time you spend on a movie and the more money that a movie makes outside of the movie theaters, but on DVD streaming and all that sort of business and foreign markets in the world, we make very good money from that.
Right.
And that can help pay my bills and take care of my wife and my family and things like that. So I have to, my artistic needs versus my family's financial needs. So it's a tough question, and I hope I never have to answer that question.
You talked about doing acting classes.
Yeah.
How has the whole virus thing affected that?
Well, as you can imagine, gathering a group of people together in a room to get up in each other's faces and act is not exactly something that's conducive to the pandemic. So I remember we had class in March. It was like March 12th or 13th. And, all this was starting to come down. And I had my last class on a Wednesday night. or maybe no, it's Thursday. Thursday middays when I used to have class, and I said, "All right, everybody, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take next week off and just see what happens." And of course, we never came back.
Right.
And a lot of the people that were like, "Oh no, dude, it's fine. We'll just meet next week. We got room in here. We'll just stay away from each other. You know, this is masks weren't even a part of the question back then. We won't touch our faces. We'll be fine." It's like, yeah, let's just take a week off anyway, and if that's the case, then we'll come back. And of course, a lot of those people that were saying, "Yeah, let's get together," like 2 weeks later, they're like, "No, I'm not coming. Not coming. Not coming."
Yeah.
So we didn't have class until mid-July, and then we were doing the Zoom thing, and it's just, I teach what's called the Strasberg method, and it just needs to be in person. It's
Right.
very personal. It's very meditative and very introspective, and they need me there to talk to them, explain things, and doing it like this. I mean, I need to be able to see your whole body and what you're doing with it or not doing with it. We tried it and it wasn't working. And so then we would just get on Zoom like every other, I've got a hair in my eye, sorry.
Oh, no.
And we'd get on Zoom every other week and just, "Hey, how's it going? Is everybody good? Is everybody safe?" Things like that, just to keep in touch. And then, and so I after, things kind of went up and down and up and down, and I could tell everybody's getting antsy. So around July 4th, I said, "Hey guys, let's try to have a class. Who would like to come?" And I have about 40 students on my roster, and about 10 or 15 of them said, "I'm willing to try." I'm like, "All right, great." So we meet every other week. So every 14 days, I have 4 different possible classes that they can meet in, and they're not required to show up whenever they want. They can come whenever they want. And so it's very laid back, and we only allow 6 people at a time in the class. So we can spread out, and it's not even in a theater. It's actually, I have a condo in Atlanta that's like my wife and I's second home, and I've just turned it into a studio.
Okay.
It's just a big concrete and brick loft box. So we've got the AC fan running the whole time. I've got a UV filtration system in it and all this. And so I've got about 12 to 15 students that come and go on a regular basis every other week.
Oh, I just blinked. I made it 31 minutes. Give us your plug.
So there is a movie that I am in, and Adam Boyer from The Walking Dead, who played Bat Smock, man, the guy that smacked everybody in the back of the head in Terminus before they slit their throats. He's in it.
Okay.
Catherine Dyer from the first season of Stranger Things is in it. Brad Carter, another brilliant actor, is in it. And the inimitable Danielle Deadweiler. If you're a fan of Watchmen, she is in Watchmen, at least in one episode where she is a flashback where I forgot her character, but she's amazing in it. She's the star of our movie, and the movie is called The Devil to Pay. This is not the one from 1930. This is a new one.
Okay.
So it's an Appalachian story about people who live in their own world and have their own set of rules or their own code they live by. And some shenanigans goes on, and some things need to be reckoned, because the original title is called Reckoning, and there's a reckoning that has to happen.
Gotcha.
And it's going to be in drive-in theaters coming October 2nd around the world, and well, at least around the country. And then it's going to be on all of your streaming platforms starting October the 6th.
Okay.
We'll be at the Plaza Theater in Atlanta for a short stint, I have been told, but I don't know if you want to go sit in a theater or not. And it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be on Netflix, though. It's going to be on all the ones that where you pay like $2.99 to rent it, like Apple and or iTunes and Amazon and all that jazz. Vudu, Hulu, Zulu, and all the Cubu. I don't know the name of all of them. But you know what I'm talking about.
I do know
It's
what
called
you're
Devil
talking
to
about.
Pay, and it's a pretty good little movie. It's not going to win any Academy Awards, but it's got some good elements to it. I think it's a thriller. So check it out, and hopefully he'll show you the trailer.
I will. We will put that right here.
And the trailer starts now.
Get up in there. I want Daddy to take me in.
I know you do.
Morning, Lemon.
Can't this wait till Tully get home?
How long you been gone?
Dreams can be dangerous. Tully can blind a man to his duties.
I suppose you're wondering why I summoned you.
The debt is paid.
I gave him a chance to make it right. Find your husband, return what's mine.
Or I'll murder your boy. And I'll bury you alive right next to him. The father of my child lying in a ditch somewhere halfway down the mountain.
Takes a while to dig a grave.
They got my boy. I need your help, Percy.
It's war.
What are you really doing here?
Ain't nothing gonna keep you away from us. Ever.
Well, one thing I've done in the previous 2 episodes that I guess will keep the streak going is I would get you to say I was not able to beat Joe in a staring contest.
Okay. I was not able to beat Joe.
And now is time to end our video. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for coming back for another episode of Who's Joe YouTube Edition. This is now our 3rd staring contest video. If you haven't already watched the other ones, watch the other ones. I am now 3-0. We're going to keep doing these. He's doing great and not blinking now.
It really hurts a lot. Ow. Okay.
We're going to keep doing these. I've got a few others lined up. I'm planning on posting them every Tuesday. So if you're watching this now on a Tuesday, there will be another one next Tuesday. But until the next time, see you then.
See ya.